Okay, today we're going to be setting up a Williams Big Guns I just picked up. I know it's got a few little issues, but it's mostly working, so I'm going to go over the issues. I know it has some switch issues, maybe some other issues, but we're going to go through it. We're going to set it up. We're going to play it. It's going to be fun. So first, I got one of these nice carts here, which is super handy if you set up a lot of games. Not necessary if I only have one or two games, but it's cool to have. I'll show you how I do it. Go ahead and bring it down like this. There we go. Then we go up. And then we're ready to put the legs on. One thing to note is if you get a game and the leg bolts look all nasty like this, see if we can zoom in here. Any chance? Well, oh yeah, see they're all nasty. If you get that, which is super common, then you're going to want to either tap out the leg inserts or replace them. Pretty often you can get away with tapping them out. So let me show you what a leg insert looks like. I got them right here. So the leg inserts, which is where the leg bolts go, they usually look about like this. They're either nailed or screwed in these holes. And then here is where the bolts go into. So sometimes you got to tap them out to get them nice and clean. And anytime you see a bolt like that, it's a good idea to just tap them all out. So what kind of tap is it? It's a 3/8-16. So that's 3/8 coarse thread. And pretty much every leg bolt I've seen on a standard pinball machine is the same. So I'm going to tap them out. So another thing to note when you're setting up a pinball machine, the legs are going to be the same. They should be the same. So if you look from the leg to the holes, it's the same length. But these are called leg levelers, so they're adjustable. So the ones that are all the way down you want in the front, and the ones that are up you want in the back. That's how you get the slant, so the ball rolls down and plays good. Call it the pitch. That's what it's called, the pitch. So just make note that the ones that are all the way in like this go in the front, the ones that are out go in the back. And you still want to adjust it and level it out once you finish setting it up, and I'll go over that too. But you're off to the right start if you do it this way. All right, let's put them on. Finally, it's time to put her on the ground. There we go. Pinball. Okay, so now we need to put the bolts in the head. So there's bolts that hold the head up, and there's a lock right here. We got to unlock that, and if it's done right, the key should be on the inside of the coin door. See, there's a hook right here with keys on it. So sometimes the hook's over here, sometimes it's over here. Sometimes it's inside the cabinet somewhere, and sometimes the keys are missing, but hopefully they're on the hook. So, put these in, like this, turn it, and now it's unlocked. And now that it's unlocked, we can lift the translight up and get to where the bolts are. All right, now that it's unlocked, we can lift this up like that, bring it forward and down. And this is called the translight or the back glass, but it's a translight because the art's printed on a film that's pressed against the glass. So technically that's called the translight. Now there's a little latch here. You can open it like that. And here I got the bolts. So we can lift this up too so we can see it a little better. Well, there's two holes right here and right here. We got to put the bolts in. And the head will stay up. And these head bolts are almost always 9/16, whereas the legs could be 9/16 or 5/8, one or the other. I got my 9/16, snug it up. So on a side note, very important, a lot of people don't know that these games have AA batteries in them right here. What do the batteries do? They hold the settings like the high score, free play, whatnot, but they can leak, and they can leak onto these chips, and they can cause you real problems. So you want to make sure your batteries are good. And what I like to do is I like to put lithium batteries in there. So if the batteries haven't leaked and the battery holder is still looking good, then you can put the Energizer Ultimate Lithium AA batteries in there and they'll never leak and they're great. If the batteries have leaked, which is quite common, and taken out the holder, then you have to replace the battery holder. That's a little more involved. Anyways, let's plug it in. What's going to happen? I don't know. Okay, it says adjust switch 37 left cannon. And that's it. So let's figure out what that is. Okay, so which one is 37? Found it in the manual here. It's 37, goes right there. And it says here, 37 is left cannon, just like the game said. So now we're going to go into switch test on the game, and we're going to see if 37 registers in switch test. On the inside of the coin door, you're going to see these three buttons on this game. Bally, Williams, they do them a little differently, but Williams, for a long time, had them pretty consistent. So this is if you push it once, it stays down. If you push it again, it goes up. And then this button is to enter the menu. So if you have it down, when you push this button, then you go into Diagnostics, which is what we want. If you have it up, then you go into Audits and Adjustments. That's where you set free play, replay values, stuff like that. We're going to push it down, and we're going to push this button once. Okay, so the middle button's down, and I'm pushing that right button. Yep, still switch 37. We got music test, display test, sound test, lamp test, coil test, and then switch test. So switch levels means what switches are currently pressed. We don't want that. We want switch edges. So one more goes to switch edges. Now any switch you push on the game is going to register on the screen here, and I'll show you what that means. All right, now it's time to slide the glass off. So there's a lever here. Pretty much every game is fairly similar until more recently. But there's a lever here. You push it this way. And then this is called the lockdown bar. This will come up, right? So that locks the lockdown bar down. And then when you push it this way, you can pull the lockdown bar up. And then you can slide the glass off. And now we can start hitting switches and seeing what happens. So there's right return. That works. We know the switch test works. So here is, it's kind of hard to get to. I'm going to use a screwdriver. 37. Try to get it with the screwdriver here. Okay, I'm hitting the switch and nothing's happening. Oh. Okay, so it kind of works. It's just you have to push it really far down. Let's take a look at the bottom and see what it looks like from underneath. That one works. So I already took the balls out of this game. How do you take the balls out? You can hit that manually with the playfield down to knock the balls up to get them out, or you can use a magnet. But anyways, we're looking for switch 37 from the bottom side now, and that's right here. All right, let's zoom in on that. All right, here's 37. It's actually working every time. So the problem here is the ball doesn't push the switch down far enough to register. So we should just be able to bend it. A lot of pinball is just bending stuff because the switch is working every time, as opposed to replacing it. I don't think we need to replace it. So bending switches is just, there's not really a science to it. You just kind of gotta bend it. So we can bend that a little bit. And that's gonna work every time. Look at that. I think that's gonna be good. All right, so how do we make sure we got it? Well, we put a pinball in it and see if it registers. We're gonna do that. All right, let's put the playfield down. And then let's, so here is 37, right here. So we're gonna go ahead and, yeah, so it goes, the ball goes in here and then rolls down there, and that's the switch. So let's put a pinball in and see what happens. How is that supposed to get in there? Hey, it works, look at that. Generally, once you hit a switch, that error goes away on its own. So if we turn the game off and back on again, it should boot up without any errors anymore. Let's try it. All right, let's turn it on and see what happens. I didn't mention this earlier, but pretty much every pinball machine until the last about 10 years has a toggle switch in the exact same spot right here. So I turned it on. And it's working. Coil is that? All right. So now we kind of can take a pinball and throw it in all the spots and see if it gets stuck anywhere. Right here. That worked. And that worked. Okay. How about here? That worked? That worked. All right. Too slow to catch the ball every time. Where else can we put it? Right here. That worked. That goes there. I'm gonna catch it. I got it. Okay, what else do we got? Can we start a game? What else do we got here? Make sure everything's working. It's working. Working. All right, let's do a close-up on the playfield here. So I like to, it's upset because I'm not touching anything. I like to just throw the ball around, see what's working, what's not working before I get too into it. Make sure everything's registering. So we got these drop targets. Do they work? Yeah. Yep. Yep. Okay, all the drop targets are down. What's back there? Oh, they all went back up. That's good. That's working. What about here? That one, two. That one's a little slow to go down, so I'll clean that. That works good. Everything seems to be working so far. Let's do that here. Start hitting targets, see if we find a target that doesn't work. Yeah, it's pretty good. So we still need to clean and wax this game. That's called shopping it out. So I'll end up taking these ramps off, taking this plastic off, and then I use male wax, which is a pinball cleaner. Clean it, male wax on a rag. I can do a little sample here. So I like male wax. If you notice, there's like some dirt here. So I'll just do some of the easy spots right now. Yeah, I'll get all this dirt up. Just like that. See all that nasty? Got to get all that up. Now, so the parts that are under plastics, you got to get the plastics off to clean there, and you really want to do all of it if you're doing a good job, which we do. And other than that, it's mostly nothing major. What if we just play it for a second here? See how it looks. Looks like it's working pretty good. King's Chamber, look at it go. Can do something? Looks like it all worked for the most part. I'll do a fine-tuning video here, but I think that's enough for this video. It's a good game.